that 25-point lead was just a little bit too much.
Yeah, without question, you saw that. Had we not spotted them to that point, I think we probably would have had a great chance if we had the right energy to start the game. I knew the team that had the best energy to start would probably have to hang on. Because we would have got the great lead to start, and they would have made a great run. It was going to be one way or the other. If they got that big lead. But I thought having 2 turnovers in the second half, that kind of helped us a great deal. Ryan Anderson does what they brought him to do, shoot the basketball, make shots, and he was able to do that. But I thought our guys could have easily came in at halftime and said it's 25 points and there's no way we catch up in this game. And they made a great effort to get back in the game. And that actually got it down to 7. And Reeves hit a 33-point shot, that kind of broke the rhythm right there. So, but I thought our guys showed the fight that I know this team has had all year. And but just too much of a hole to get out of it.
Did you feel as though maybe their body alarm clock didn't go off at halftime?
Mine just went off too. So. But it happens. We have to play the game, and they finally got it, but it was just a little too late.
Talk about DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah. Well, DeMarcus, I thought he was a little sluggish early to start the game, and I thought as the game moved on and him knowing that he was going to be on the floor for the remainder of the game, I think that kind of got him in the right position. But I thought we had the better space on the floor as well, and we started pushing the pace of the game. I thought what he did in the pick and roll coverages in the second half was much better than what he did in the first half. The guy got talent, and he plays under control from a mental standpoint, where he's able to make a game flow with him. He can have huge nights, and I thought the fact that we didn't have the whole of the game, that he could have come off with a big production number and having a big break on his road trip.
What do you do about the rebounding deficit again? DeMarcus is the only guy you had in double figures, and a lot of guys, weren't close to getting there.
Well, I think this game dictated something different because obviously a little bit to close that gap rebounding-wise, you would have had to have another big on the floor. But because they played with 2 spacing fours for the most part, Anderson and Smith a lot tonight, you couldn't put those guys in. Fours sometimes think they can guard guys who shoot from the perimeter from the long range, but it's a whole different mentality that you have to have when you're defending that far out on the floor from 3-point range. And then how much can I help? Should I help? So I thought that some of the second chance points, they had 25 of them, being on the run. Don't know how many had actual rebounds, but second chance opportunity, that really hurts you there. The rebounding part, Marcus has had a great groove of rebounding, and we got to get some other guys rebounding. But this game was just different because the way they spaced the floor, they forced the issue of you having to match down a little bit. And plus, when you're down in the hole that far, you need to have a range shooter. That's Travis Allen never come to the game.
Did you get any sense that the guys were able to block out all the other stuff going on with the team and just go out there and play?
Well, I thought we had a lot layering on. After we got ready to get our pregame going, different conversation. People make little small remarks. But I thought, as I said, once they got on the floor, I thought it was more of us just being a little sluggish than anything with the news that came about on the floor. I thought more than anything it was more of the little sluggish and couldn't get going, couldn't get anything going. I thought we took probably maybe 15 to 17 one-pass or no-pass shots that didn't go down for us. And I thought the second half we did a much better job with that.
You talked about how this has affected your players. As a coach, as a father, how has this affected you?
Well, with the advent of instant texting and messaging, my sons always ask that question. Someone says something to them, and you got to try to let them know that, hey, son, what you're doing right now, the school that you're in right now, what you're doing, you focus on that. Don't worry about anything else. Friends who didn't hear the story, I would call them cousins, relatives, all that stuff there, and you're trying to keep them focused. Hey, continue doing your schoolwork, whatever activity you're involved in at the moment, keep focused on that. And that's all we control. My wife and I made a decision a long time ago that as I got a chance to stay in one place for so long that it was going to be a point where I wanted to make sure my kids stayed in the right situation, school system-wise. And as all those coaches in the NBA are very transient. So, but I want to make sure those guys are locked into what they're doing, their world. My world can get moved around, and hopefully it doesn't affect them as much. But overall, I get them to kind of focus my kids and my wife and then her family, everybody just focus on what we're doing at the moment right now.
What's important in your life that you want your kids to, the more, you don't want them to move around?
Well, I want them to get to a point where they can stay in one place, go to college, and not come back and live with mom and I, so they go to school. But I was very fortunate in all the places that I've been, coaching-wise. When I first started coaching, I stayed 3 years in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Went to Cleveland State 3 years, so my kids got a chance to stay in the same school system. Golden State for 8, 9 years. Staying in one place for a long time. So they've gotten a great base, educational base, so that it can help them later on in life. More than anything, that's what any parent wants for their kids, is to be